1975-1976 ABA season. Only 4 teams would enter the NBA from 10 total teams. That doesn't seem fair. Well, actually, you'll notice that 3 of these teams have some low records. The San Diego Sails, Utah Stars, and Baltimore Claws wouldn't finish the season, along with the Virginia Squires, who folded just a month before the merger, missing out on millions of dollars in compensation. Now we're left with 6 teams. The NBA would decide to adopt the Indiana Pacers, San Antonio Spurs, New York Nets, and Denver Nuggets. Now 2 teams remain, but in order for the merger to take place, the NBA would have to negotiate with these teams and convince them to fold their franchises. Despite existing through the duration of the ABA's existence, the Kentucky Colonels were one of the teams that had to fold. The NBA negotiated with John Y. Brown, owner of the Kentucky Colonels, by giving him a $3.3 million settlement in exchange for shutting his team down. Brown would use that money to buy the Buffalo Braves, who are now known as the Los Angeles Clippers. Now, onto the second team that needed to fold, the Spirits of St. Louis. They could have taken a similar offer to John Brown, but owners Ozzie and Daniel Silna held out for more. The Spirits had accumulated a talent pool that leveraged their bargaining power. On the court, they employed all-stars like Moses Malone, Marvin Barnes, and Maurice Lucas. Their local play-by-play announcer was the young Bob Costas. Due to this leveraging power, they knew that they could make a deal that they would want and not just get bought out. So what did they do? They would receive payment for any of their players that were drafted by an NBA team, an amount which came to approximately $2.2 million. And they would receive 1/7 of the media rights of each of the 4 ABA teams that were joining the NBA, which works out to about 57% of a full share. I know this is confusing, so to put it in simpler terms, Ozzie and Daniel Silna would be receiving approximately 2% of the entire NBA's television revenue. This deal would exist in perpetuity, meaning for as long as the NBA or its successors exist. Also, the percentage that the brothers would receive would never drop, no matter how successful the NBA would become or how much they would expand. The deal worked out for both parties because TV earnings were basically an afterthought at the time, so the NBA didn't even bat an eye at those terms. In the beginning, this would only net the brothers around $200,000 to $300,000 per year. However, things would pick up immensely after the NBA exploded in popularity in the 1980s. By 2014, the Silna brothers had earned around $300 million from this deal. However, at this point, the brothers believed they were owed more, due to the creation of international TV contracts and online streams like NBA League Pass. So the league attempted to negotiate a buyout agreement. Well, in 2014, the league and the former ABA teams offered the Silna brothers a one-time payment of $500 million, so the league could own a majority share of the former Spirits franchise, in order to control the portion of the TV revenue rights of those former ABA teams. And that is how an ABA team and its owners created the greatest deal in sports history.
I've showed you the blueprint to a lot of players, but I haven't showed you the blueprint to certain owners yet. This is the blueprint of a Mark Cuban buying and evaluating your company until it's almost 10 times its worth. But now we're back. St. Louis has a team. The Rams are gone, but the Spirits are back. Kyle Lowry out of Villanova, from the middle of the country. Just go a little bit further down, you're in St. Louis. 6'1" barely on his tallest days. He's what the young kids call a thick boy, but uses his body to go to the rim. He shoots the 3. I can say he's kind of clutch. He's not the clutchest, judging from the time that they won the championship with Kawhi Leonard. Kyle Lowry was a little quiet, but he's a really good player. Bradley Beal, straight out of St. Louis. We have a St. Louis native right here, 6'3", 215, uses his body, shoots the 3 very well. His mom played basketball, I think. She taught him how to shoot. Straight from St. Louis, went to Florida for college. His mom was mad at him for that. But represents St. Louis like it's nobody's business, man. Like he definitely reps St. Louis loudly and proudly. Speaking of, we got Jason Tatum, the next guy out of.
My name is Jason Tatum. I play for the St. Louis Eagles. What the PGM means to me, a lot of tradition, a lot of great players and teams, and you have to prove yourself every game. There's great players out here every time you step on the court, and nobody wants to lose. I'm just happy to be a part of it. It's my third year, and looking to win the championship.
What I think this Peach Jam means to Jason, it means a lot to him. I mean, I think this is kind of a culmination of, his high school experience. This is one of the things that brings a little bit of closure and helps him start a new chapter. So I think it's very important for him. People watch him, and to him, it's like a show, it's a basketball game, but, he's still my son, and he's still 17, and he's lived under a microscope for a long time. So I'm really proud of how he handles it all with a lot of class and a lot of grace.
Then we got Chris Bosh. This man was a menace on the Raptors. 6'10", has hella post moves. He was one of the last of the post move power forwards. Then he went to Miami and started shooting the three a little bit more because everyone else was, that was a little bit after the Rashard Lewis times when the Magic went to the finals. So it's what LeBron needed at the time, but this is what LeBron was looking at when he was recruiting who he needed. This man, Chris Bosh, was skilled, can run the floor like a gazelle, can dunk the ball over you, can shoot the mid-range, can get the rebound, can basically do what needs to be done in the post against whoever it may be. It could be the center, the power forward, Dwight Howard in his prime, it don't matter. Chris Kaman, the caveman, 7 foot, like 260, blocks, dunks, plays defense, rebounds. That's about it. You know what I'm saying? His game is pretty simple, but it's pretty efficient, I would say. Then you got Tony Allen, the king of defense. He's like a 6'4", less aggravating Patrick Beverly. But his defense is A1. His defense is comparable to Bruce Bowen's. Another blueprint person I'm showing you right here. Bruce Bowen is definitely his blueprint because it didn't matter who he was guarding, whether it be the best player or the best scorer or the fastest player, whatever it may have been. Tony Allen was on it perimeter-wise. He was on it in the paint. He was on those passing lanes. Didn't matter. Brian Reeves, a.k.a. Big Country. He was born Oklahoma. He got drafted to the Vancouver Grizzlies in real life. 7'1", 300 pounds. Dunks the ball, rebounds, blocks. I mean, he looks like an avid Trump supporter. You know what I'm saying? He has a little bit of a post move, but just a really big guy in the paint. Larry Hughes, straight out of St. Louis. St. Louis loves this man.
To call Larry Hughes unique is something of an understatement. Not sure the word strong enough to describe this young man. A remarkably talented athlete who understands the value of giving back. He was a high school All-American at CBC, a young man who had to grow up fast. He had to help his mother care for Justin, his younger brother, who had a defective heart. Justin had 2 heart attacks and a heart transplant before Larry graduated from CBC. He had his choice of hundreds of universities, but decided to stay at home and play basketball at St. Louis University to help his mom and be close to brother Justin. As a freshman, he helped the Billikens get to the NCAA tournament, averaging 21 points a game. He was named college basketball's National Freshman of the Year. After his freshman season, Larry entered the NBA draft, to help pay for mounting medical expenses. He was selected by the Philadelphia 76ers with the 8th pick in the first round. He played 12 seasons in the NBA with Philadelphia, Golden State, Washington, Cleveland, and Chicago, and New York. He averaged 14 points over his career, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists a game. But Larry Hughes is more than just a basketball player. His brother Justin died in 2006. So Larry founded a nonprofit foundation to assist families of organ and tissue transplants with unexpected financial needs. He's also the owner of Random Acts of Kindness with the purpose of making a difference in the lives of less fortunate. So tonight, we honor one of the best in St. Louis, Larry Hughes.
Then you got Terry Rozier, straight out of St. Louis once again, but a little bit younger. He's in the next generation.
Never the major attention. That was until the LeBron James Skill Academy this past summer.
When I walked in there, I called my wife. I said, holy smokes, he's small in comparison to these guys. Man, they're good.
His smooth shot and attacking style caught everybody by surprise.
He competed like a lion. I mean, he would not be denied, attacking the rim, making others better, stroking jump shots, dunking the ball. I mean, it was just phenomenal seeing him compete at that high of a level.
Rick Pitino.
And out the gate, he said, I want to play for University of Louisville.
That persistence for Pitino derives from Terry's mild obsession with the documentary Through the Fire.
I would be attending the University of Louisville with Rick Pitino, and I'll take any questions.
An all-access look at New York point guard Sebastian Telfair's senior high school season. Terry watches it before every game.
Everything about Rick Pitino, the school, and all the fans that show him love, it was just nice. I was like, yeah, I want to be part of something like this one day.
Yeah, Lincoln High School, once again, affects the world. Jared Vanderbilt, 6'9", can shoot the 3, rebounds, blocks. Eric Snow, 6'3", point guard, can pretty much do mid-range and post up. Jacob Pirtle, I don't know why you say his name like that, but he's 7 foot, rebounds and blocks. Then you got Darius Miles, straight out of St. Louis, out of high school.
John, you know him well, Darius Miles. Well, you know, I think that the value of this kid is what is so significant. I mean, you can't go wrong in selecting a guy like that, wouldn't you say, Rick? Because his value is as significant as his ability. If you don't use him immediately, you know eventually he's going to be a star and has a tremendous trading value also.
His ball skills are so special. He gets to the foul line with frequency, he gets to the paint. He's a very good decision maker on the pass. And as I had said earlier, if he develops an outside shot, I think he's going to be a superstar.
Rick, the only thing I would say that for a young kid coming into the NBA, stability is everything. And going to the Clippers, to be honest, is not a great deal of stability.
Then you got Bo Outlaw, 6'9", power forward center. Does the basics. Gabriel Taylor, not real. Dana Falk, I think, is real. Mid-range scoring, defensive IQ, layups, vertical, and rebounding are strengths. And dunks are weaknesses. Jason Tatum will still put it over your head, though, so watch out for that. Mid-range scoring is definitely a strength. 3-point, I can definitely say is a weakness. Home uniform. St. Louis with the arch below it. Sponsored by Mountain Dew. Then you got the away, Spirits, the orange. Then you got the alternate. That's the black. The Mountain Dew. Ooh wee. And you got the St. Louis Spirits Stadium. And they're back. Old school or not, they're back, baby.